Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. I have a Commonwealth Flipper. What am I talking about? I do have two channels, y'all, in case you didn't know that. Commonwealth Picker, Commonwealth Flipper. I actually have three, Garage Sale Nation, and we're over on, well, I don't need to promo myself. We have a serious topic today I want to talk about. I'm going to kind of dedicate a few minutes in just a minute because we have 34 items that we need to ship today. And I'm going to pull 5 of them or 6 of them really quick. And then we're going to get to our topic, which is eBay, the future of eBay, the layoffs that eBay is going through right now, almost 10% of their workforce, the cash flow issues, the consumption issues, all of this stuff that I want to talk about here. And I'll try and do it fairly quickly, but we do have a ton of things headed out of here. It's kind of strange to be mixing, hey, bad news from eBay when I got 34 sales headed out of here, but that's what we're going to do today. I hope you guys are still making sales as well. Let's go take a look. And I'm going to be picking items fairly quickly here so this doesn't turn into a really long video today. My Hulkster that Rod Picking and Punching gave me, that one's not for sale. Almost everything else in here is this Wolf speaker, Bluetooth speaker. This is not something I would normally pick up, but after I asked prices on a few items at that sale, I decided to ask on this one, and I think I paid $1 for it. And so stuff was so cheap, I'm like, I'm just going to grab it. That's got to be worth $1. Sold for $35 plus shipping. The next one's right on the edge. I'm super glad I didn't have to dig in this bin. We just listed a bunch of hats, and some of them sold today. This UVA hat, we picked it up for $1 as well and brought it home and listed that thing, and it sold quickly for $40 plus shipping. Sold some size small, Harley branded chaps right there, and these sell for pretty good money, but smalls are a little difficult, obviously, and those sold for $45 plus shipping. And somebody's here. I wasn't going to do this yet, but I'm going to do it right now. And I think that says Mercedes. Check this out, y'all. Is that all you wrote in there? Utah Now. Is that your eBay store? Gave us a ton of treats, and Turner's not going to enjoy these. Wallen is going to enjoy these, aren't you? That was very kind of you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Look at you. You appreciate it, don't you? I'm going to grab 3 more real quick and then dig into the details behind what's going on over there at eBay. This one was bought by Armida. You might remember us picking this up in a video a week or 2 ago. I think somebody made this hat. I don't know. It's pretty well done. Maybe it was made like that. Either way, it's pretty darn cool. Kansas City Chiefs hat headed out of here, and this one sold for $29 plus shipping, and Armida bought it, so thank you. We really do appreciate that. I hope you enjoy that hat. You know, we're going to talk a little bit when we talk about eBay about trends and in difficult times and times when the economy's not roaring like it's not right now, how things kind of change a little bit, and this is a decent example. This is the kind of thing that was really selling for pretty darn good money. I can't grab them all at the same time. Just a couple years ago, people were homeschooling, and whether by choice or by the fact that the schools weren't open in a lot of places, and this kind of stuff was flying off the shelves, and it still sells. There's certainly more homeschoolers out there than there used to be, and reading old-fashioned books and stuff like that. There's got some great stories in here. I'll grab the other ones really quick. And I saw these at the flea market and saw that they were in terrific condition, and I even thought about them for my own kids. But we've got so much. I mean, check that out. Adventures of Tom Sawyer, stuff that nobody does anymore with their kids, and sure wish we would. But at any rate, I picked them up and I paid $10. They're in excellent condition, and we just got them listed not long ago, and they sold really quickly, $50 plus shipping. You know, trends go up and down, and businesses go up and down, and I don't want to confuse the macro with the micro. It's not necessarily an indictment against eBay that they're laying off people. However, there's also micro issues involved as well. And there's an example right here, glass. When I first started on eBay, glass was pretty decent, and then for a long time it was just terrible, and I heard all the glass folks out there talking about that, and it seems to have come back a little bit. Not that it's on fire, but I wish I could show you these. Maybe I'll show you a picture or something if I'm at a place editing where I have a signal, which sometimes I don't when I'm watching Turner. These right here are Fenton opalescent aqua blue hobnail ruffled vases, I think. Sugar dish. Maybe it's just 2 totally different things, but put them together for $24.95 plus shipping, and they sold. So let's read a little bit of this article. I loved as an AP World History teacher we would do documents and we would analyze these documents. They would call it the DBQ, document-based question. You'd have a question based on the document itself, and then you'd kind of read between the lines, if you will. Anyway, eBay to eliminate 1,000 jobs, or 9% of their full-time workforce. So roughly that puts them at, I'm not a mathematician, I'm around 10,000 people in their workforce. And we're going to talk about this. As a matter of fact, we talked about this last year as well, because they cut jobs. I can't remember that article. I don't know if I can even find that video. But that one sounded quite a bit different than this one. If you remember, over the last year, a lot of AI stuff was taking over. And so a lot of the, I guess I'll call them fringe jobs, jobs that aren't necessarily at their base, were getting cut. Looks like this one's a little different. CEO Jamie Iannone, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I've always heard it, told employees that the company will scale back the number of contracts we have with our alternate workforce over the coming months. So 9% of the company's workforce, equal to about 1,000 full-time jobs, as the tech industry continues to downsize to start 2024. So there's something that looks at a bigger picture before we just completely annihilate eBay's future here. The stock rose more than 3% in extended trading. So obviously, cutting costs can raise revenue in some ways, but overall, that's not a good picture for your business, because the growth isn't necessarily there. And in this case, it looks like the growth is kind of just, right along, not really growing very much. But I want to mention this really quick, because they said as the tech industry continues to downsize. In other words, this isn't just exclusive to eBay. All the big tech companies, most of the big tech companies, whether it's Alphabet, Google, which owns YouTube, or whether it's, I don't know all the names, but you can pick Amazon, even all of these companies, most of these companies are downsizing their workforces. So it's not just specific to eBay. Grabbed another hat, and like I said, it's a little odd to be talking about all these sales for eBay while we're talking about some bad news coming out of the corporate here. But you know what? That's kind of the point here. This isn't necessarily meant to be a piece that's decrying the downfall of eBay. It's just to talk about it honestly while things are still selling. So it's macro versus micro. But North Wilkesboro Speedway, North Carolina. This is a sweet hat, and I think I remember where I bought this, and I bought it the same place as this, and I paid $1. But I have a sneaking suspicion I might have bought it over there on One Stop Shop in a lot, but I cannot remember. Either way, I know I'm making money, because this thing sold for $40 plus shipping. And that's the kind of thing that no matter what the story is, right now, eBay is one of the few places you can find something unique like that. I highly doubt anybody else had that out there, maybe just a few. But Iannone said the job cuts are necessary because eBay's overall headcount, their employees, and expenses have outpaced the growth of our business. And so that's the key. So even if there is growth, it's not the growth they need, because the expenses keep going up. There's inflationary costs, there's labor costs going up, and if you're competing for folks, that's what we talked about last year. It looks like that labor cost probably is becoming a little bit more steady at this point, because there's people now looking for jobs, at least in that industry. And I'm no economic expert here. It's just kind of common sense, and I taught economics inside of AP World and stuff, so I'm not claiming to be some kind of genius here. I'm just looking at it from a common sense approach here. Their growth just simply isn't big enough. And that to me is a macro problem more than it is an eBay problem. However, we've talked about this before as well. Their market share, even if they're continuing to grow, their market share is becoming smaller because of the competition, and those are upstarts. eBay's been around for a while, and they have costs already built into their system that are a little bit harder to overcome, I would imagine, which is why I've done what I've done. I've said it before, said it many, many times, and trends are changing slowly. I like to keep my toes in every single pool, so that I know that I can pivot off of something if need be. I have no plans of pivoting off of eBay. eBay is still where the great majority of my sales come from, and it's what I enjoy. So let's pick another item. And this next one here, I picked this one up in Florida in November. This is a sleeping bag. It's a Power Ranger sleeping bag. And Chris, my boy Stones, picked it up. And we appreciate you. You bought stuff for a long time from us. I don't think I've seen you in a while, but You're always commenting. We always appreciate you out there. This is 1994 sleeping bag, and you got $24.99 plus shipping for it. Let me read your message really quick. Hey, Kevin, just saw this in your latest video and had to grab it because I don't have it in my extensive collection. This is interesting here. While I was attending film school at USC in 93, the sleeping bag's 94, I was hired to work on the first season of the TV show. I helped with replicating the original 5 Power Rangers helmets for the American actors and designed Alpha 5 and original characters. So that is really cool, Chris. We appreciate you. And you've been selling on eBay for a while as well. You got quite a few feedback, so I hope you enjoy it. And there are certainly some trends out there on the macro level that are affecting eBay, and we're going to get into those. This is a little micro trend that, well, it's been going on for quite a while, but it seems to be catching steam here, that the old 35mm cameras, some of them have good value. This one's not particularly great, but whenever I see one that, see, top of the battery holder is broken, so this one didn't sell for as much. Sold for $22.95. Whenever I see these out there and they're cheap, I just scoop them all up and figure it out when I get home, because you usually find a winner in there. This one would have been much better, but I probably paid $1 or $2 for it, for goodness sake. $22.95 plus shipping for that one. So he says, to address this, we're implementing organizational changes to align and consolidate certain teams to improve the end-to-end experience. I mean, that's, you know, CEO talk, I suppose. It's they're shrinking their labor force and combining different things in order to do it and to still do their job and better meet the needs of our customers around the world. I'm not so sure if it's easier to meet your needs with fewer people, but I kind of get it, right? I suppose if you're going to cut, you have to consolidate different parts in your business in order to meet the needs at all. I know he said, shortly we will begin notifying these employees whose roles have been eliminated and entering into a consultation process in the areas that are required. The next hat was bought by a first-time buyer, which is always cool, especially if they just don't have numbers as their name. This is an Oriole hat. It does have an issue on it, though. That's the top right there. Looks like the knob is off of it, but it is in excellent, like, new conditions. Got a little bit of stuff I got to brush off, but it's a $9.50 hat. But here's what makes it a good one right here, that little patch on the side, which you don't see on all of them. That one sold for really good money, $29.99 plus shipping, which was a pretty big surprise to me, considering it's not a $59.50. The article continues and it goes through a paragraph talking about the other tech companies, Amazon, Unity, Alphabet, and there's all kinds of them that are eliminating positions in the same way, or at least restructuring. These changes are difficult, but I'm confident that by working together, we can become stronger than ever. I mean, you got to say this stuff, right? In the months ahead, you will see a more focused, agile, and responsive eBay. I'm going to take a minute here and think about those for just a second. So more focused, more agile, and more responsive eBay. Whew. Let me tell you, a lot of you have been asking about what happened with, now you'll see that package that I had sitting back there. If you haven't seen this video, go check it out. I think, well, I'm extremely disheartened by this situation thus far, but I'm going to do a video on it next video on that item that was returned to me, and it's just outrageous, to be perfectly honest with you. I had to put it in that thing because it is now leaking completely through the package. So if you haven't watched that video, go watch it and I'll update you on the next video. So the responsive part, agile, right? And I've talked about this. In any kind of business, you know, you've got to be looking at the next step ahead. And for our business, if you're 100% all in on eBay, you know, you're dependent to some degree on the economic situation that is all around us. You know, there's less discretionary income, let's face it. There's constriction of the money supply right now, where it was inflated and money was cheap everywhere. Now it's not quite as cheap. Now it's not quite easy to get. Interest rates have gone up. You know, a lot of people speculate that they may be going down this year, but currently, you know, we're in a situation where there's not a lot of free, easy money out there, and it's affecting a lot of eBay sellers without a doubt. And there's other pressures involved as well. Just went up in the loft area to find a Jack Skellington, and he wasn't there. So I know where the rest are. We've put them up in our attic. and they do okay up there. It's not super hot and super cold. We have it insulated and all that stuff. So I have to go up there and grab that. But here's the Jack Skellington, assuming I can put a picture up when I edit this. We've sold a bunch of them. We're selling them for 40 bucks, which isn't too bad. There's not a massive amount of profit in these because we decided to do those free shipping. eBay shares dropped about 4% in November after the company provided fourth quarter revenue guidance, which is kind of interesting because I had a pretty good Q4. I got tons of good reports from people who had good Q4s, but eBay is not reporting a great Q4. And a lot of you out there have said the same. So I think it really just depends on what you're selling, how you're selling, and, well, all kinds of factors involved with it. And by the way, they're having their shares drop in November. I believe that November was a very, very good month for the market. So it's going the opposite direction in that case. The guidance that trailed Wall Street estimates. During a call with analyst, Iannone said that eBay had observed softening consumer trends to date in Q4 and particular challenges in Europe. I'm curious what those challenges are because they've put a lot of their eggs into that European basket, and there's a lot of challenges with selling from the States to Europe with all of the different tax structures and all the different regulations that are put on stuff, whether it's environmental or just VAT taxes or all that stuff. It would take a big company like eBay to cut through that and make it actually work for consumers and for sellers on this end. And that's got to be tough. Suggesting a more muted seasonal uptick. So maybe Q4 won't be Q4 like in the old days. I mean, I don't know. He added that inflationary pressures and rising interest rates, which is something I just talked about. Both of those are key here. Continue to weigh on consumer confidence and pressured demand for discretionary goods. That's exactly what I was just saying. So discretionary income is tighter than it's been in a long time because we haven't seen that monetary expansion like we were seeing during COVID and even after COVID for a while. Sold some more Mustang cards. I mean, let's face it, if you need some. I thought they were in here. Maybe I got the wrong drawer. There they are right there. Some, do you have to have Mustang cards? Right? In tougher times, if you're having a tougher time, probably not. But when you got plenty, doesn't make a difference. 50th anniversary Mustang cards and pin, $14.95 plus shipping. And of course, completely out of context here, but they put this at the bottom of the article so you'd click on it and keep reading about eBay. Earlier in January, eBay said it would pay a $3 million criminal penalty as part of a settlement related to a cyber stalking harassment campaign conducted by a group of former employees. Thank goodness former, right? There we go. Cyber stalking. Fix that. Sold a Sting bandana right there. Little like skull cap, I guess is what it is. Haven't sold these in a while, and I got a bunch of them. $10.95. Free shipping on that one. So tell me what you think about the long-term health of eBay. I still am extremely bullish on reselling in general, but there will be ups and downs, and some people will exit because of those downs because they don't have that cushion behind them, and it helps the rest of us that stick in the game. Doesn't necessarily, make me happy for those folks at all by any stretch of the imagination because, when times are tough, it's tough out there. And I know we went through that for many, many, many years. And just trying to figure out where the next bill was going to get paid with, Scooby-Doo, $10.95 for this keychain, free shipping. Hey, Marsha bought this one. It's been sitting back here for a long, long time. I think I bought this with Eric, OBX Picker, at that almost haunted house, if you remember. I think that's where I got this, but it's sold for $18.95 plus shipping. When You Wish Upon a Star, and it went to Marcia. Thank you, Kevin, for all you do. I'm purchasing this for my 2-year-old granddaughter, and I really enjoy the purchases I've made with you so far. Well, thank you. The Dooney and Burke bag, 3 DVDs, still in the packaging, she says, and the Mustang cards. And that was from previous videos. So here's a picture of my granddaughter, and I wanted to thank you. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, and I hope she enjoys them, and we appreciate the support. Back to the books back here. I'm trying to think if it's this one or this one. I think it may be this one. Old Time Gospel Hour. We find this stuff all the time around here because this is where, it's where it used to be. Liberty University and Thomas Road Baptist Church and occasionally they sell. They used to sell a lot better, actually. They don't do quite as well. This is Old Testament, the New and Old Testament commentary. This says Old Testament. Maybe I got the wrong one. $14.99 plus shipping, but I'm going to go see if this is the right one back here. I think it might be. Yep, that's the right one. $14.99 plus shipping. Don't usually have youth shoes sell this well. I think I bought this at the Escape from the Interstate sale last year. Pretty cheap. I believe that's where I got them. These sold for 70 bucks plus shipping. This is a vintage strawberry shortcake that we had to sell at a steep discount because of the discoloration, as you can see on this one right there. And that happens to some of these, but I've never seen them quite that bad. But it still has the little outfit and the pet and all that. Cherry color, is that what this one is? And gooseberry pet, $10 plus shipping. And it went to Karen. She says, I love watching you. You've taught me so much. Thank you, and keep up the good work. Oh, and I love the Trash to Cash podcast as well. I don't know what that says about you, Karen, but we appreciate you. I picked up this Laker hat just a minute ago when I was digging for the other hat, so I'd already grabbed that out. It's a Laker 950 hat from New Era, and we sold another one of these. And it was to the same person, so... We did have some viewer sales. Whenever we're away, that tend to happen a little bit more. I think we're closer to 25% of viewer sales than we are in normal, quote-unquote, sales this time. I think this is the one right here. And so those two sold together. I don't remember the name of the person or what the total sales price is. I know these sell for $10, $10.95. So we'll check out this one. It sold for $24.95. And he says, long-time watcher, first-time buyer. I hope for a lucrative year for you and your family. Well, thank you. I wish the same for you. Keep picking from the UK. Very cool. May I request an item I'm looking for? A vintage LA Lakers jersey for my son. He is a medium. Please, can you let me know if at all possible? So, anyone in particular? I don't think I have any. I'm sure there's some viewers out there that do. Maybe they can put that in the comments below and you can come track them down. All right, Turner has a little bit of Commonwealth comedy. What do you got, bud?
Why are frogs always so happy?
Why are frogs always so happy? I don't know.
They don't give a ribbon.
Ooh.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you got?
Because they eat whatever bugs them.
Ah, I like it. Thank you, bud.
Bye.
All right, I pulled out another keychain. This is a Marvin the Martian keychain, and this is probably our most popular one. Yeah, I'm ready. You got to go to practice, huh? All right, I got to take Turner to practice, y'all. I'll be back in a minute. You won't even know, I promise. Free shipping. So, quick 4 hours later, I'm back, and I'm back to sell some Tupperware. And this Tupperware right here went to Christina, and there's no message, but I have a very high suspicion that this is a viewer because she also bought a Damn It doll, which I'm going to grab in a minute, but this sold for $12 for shipping. I'm super glad this next one sold, and you know, whatever's going on with eBay, no matter what, really we can only do so much, and I think I'm going to continue to try to find items that are bumping us up in price. I still will sell my Tupperware for 12 bucks though, plus shipping. I think this might be it in the front. Miller Lite football. I think this is it. I'll have to double check. But this has been around for a long time. I haven't sold one of these in a while, but it's sold. And it sold for $18 plus shipping. It's a little inflatable football. I'll take it. And I have to wonder something out loud here. With all, even if revenue, well, not revenue, even if sales are just barely growing, the fact that they've been doing this promoted listing for such a long time now, you would think that their revenues would go up enough to avoid this. But I'm wondering something. You know, whenever you raise something like we talked about in my AP classes, you know, you never tax yourself into prosperity. Whenever you're raising the prices, the percentages that you're getting off of sellers, it actually has the effect of raising the prices for the consumer as well. eBay used to be known as a place where you could get good deals, and it's becoming harder and harder to do that in many ways. And I'm wondering if in the long run they're losing market share because of it and they're getting less sales because of it, especially when times get rough. This jersey is pretty good right here. 23, number 20. I got Jordan's number. It's not Jordan, and it's signed up top. I don't even know who it is, but it is obviously a team jersey. And it sold for, did this one? Oop, it fell off. I think it's for 60 bucks. Yep, $59.95 plus shipping. Sold an old Shalimar perfume bottle, $15.95, I think maybe, plus shipping on that one. Had quite a few items been in the store a long time that sold today, and this is one of them. That is always encouraging. Boy, I've seen it like 8 million times. There it is. I bought a ton of beer taps in North Carolina like 2 years ago. A lot of them sold pretty quick. This one was not one of those. Batch 19 Prohibition Style Lager. Somebody grabbed that one for $9.90 plus shipping. So let me know if this news kind of changes anything of your plans. It really doesn't with mine, because I've kind of been trying to figure out ways that if things go downhill over the next few years, there's other options out there that are growing very quickly. But at the same time, eBay's not going anywhere. You know, 1 quarter, that's a little rough, and some layoffs doesn't mean it's disappearing whatsoever. And of course, you're going to try to do the prudent thing and keep things running. But there are some issues, mainly that thing back there, that are really ticking some people off. Even me. I got this one. I'm going to finally be able to consolidate all these damn it dolls. I'm going to pull them all out here and put them all in this one, because we sold quite a few today. And a few to viewers and a few not to viewers. And I'll read some of those real quick once I pull them. All right, I finally got 2 bins into 1 bin, because we sold 10 different dolls. And I think there's probably 3 viewer messages that I have to read. One of them bought 2. I'll just show you all the different patterns we have in now. These are all singles. We listed all the multi-quantity first. But anywhere between, so 10 of them, anywhere between $12.95 plus shipping to, I think, $15.95 plus shipping for those right there. I'll see if I can remember to combine the shipping on the folks that asked. Lola bought 2 of them, and she just said, hope your time off was successful. And I appreciate that, Lola. Thank you for your purchase. And I want to thank Christina, too, who didn't leave a message, but I think you're the one who bought that Tupperware, I think, which means you're probably a viewer, so we appreciate that. And who else here? Marcia, thanks for everything you do for fellow resellers. I have learned so much from watching your videos. I appreciate that. I say this every time, but you guys do far more for me than I do for you, but I appreciate it. Have to have this damn it doll, she says. I get a little loud when my Chiefs muck up a play. Even though she's from Indianapolis. Daisy Pick and Thrifts. We appreciate that. I might as well thank Carrie as well, because it says repeat buyer. So Carrie, thank you. I'm assuming you're a viewer. And this one went to Matt. Hi, Kevin. I was displaced from my bank executive job after 17 years last January, which coincided with my mother-in-law's passing. She was an antique dealer or collector and seller. Long story short, I fell in love with reselling, not only with her antiques, but with anything and everything we could source. We found your channel, and it's part of our regular viewing. I appreciate that. You have had an incredible impact on my new career, as we have our eBay store, throwbacks and treasures, and a local booth here in Cincinnati. We live in a good picking area. Thank you, Matt. We do appreciate it very much. So I'm thinking 6 of those 10 probably went to viewers, is my guess. So, Matt, we appreciate it. I hope you all enjoy them, and thank you for sharing your story with us. All right, y'all. Reagan's got some thank yous. What do you got?
Sarah, Marianne, Mark, Larry, Stacy, Courtney, JK, Holly, Timothy, Annette, Lola, Craig, Joe, Tony, Tracy, Matt, Larry, and Kevin. Larry!
That's an awful lot. And some people bought these because we're putting these on clearance. $20 pop over there on CommonwealthPicker.com. And then most of the rest of the people bought the giant Enaman. And we have a Series 3 coming soon. So we have like 21 of those left over there on Commonwealth Picker. And we're not going to do those again. So thank you, Reagan. We appreciate it.
Bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
I did not have to ship this one today, Volcom bag, but I told them I'd expedite it, so I went in and grabbed it. Have you ever gone to a yard sale and somebody just, at the end of the day, and I was just looking at the bag, I'm like, oh, that's a nice looking bag. And I started to walk away. I hadn't even decided really anything on it. And the guy's like, hey, just take that thing. I'm like, really? I think that's what happened for this sale. Maybe it's a different bag. Anyway, it was super cheap. And it wasn't worth a bunch, but $25 plus shipping. Folds up real nice. Should be an easy shipper. All right, y'all. I just want to say thanks for stopping by. I want to say thanks for something else as well. And then, of course, ask again about eBay and your plans. Does any of this news affect you at all? I'd love to know your opinion below, but I don't talk about my back much. You've seen me in the past have a pretty bad back. Well, It's been really bad lately, and a lot of people have noticed in the videos, and they've noticed out there in some of the picking videos as well, and have been very kind to me. And I, right now, after driving Turner back from practice, is hurting pretty bad. And I just wanted to say thanks for all of you folks out there. I'm going to do whatever I can to take care of it, but sometimes it's rough. So that reminds me here, my wife is coming home here in a few minutes, thank goodness. I still have to do the heavy stuff. I'll package up 1, 2, 3, 4 items. And she's going to come in here and package the rest, she told me today, which is really, really kind to her. I know she hadn't been on a ton of videos lately, so I'll try to coax her in here on the next few. But thank you, everybody, for your support always, for your comments, for subscribing on the Commonwealth Picker channel, all the folks who have come over to dibdit.com. We appreciate you over there, too. And we've got some other news coming up here that I can't wait to share with you. But just want to say thank you, as always, and I can't wait to see you next time. All right, y'all, I got my wife in here to help me ship, so thank you, baby. And the dog is sitting at the treats right there.
But he only wants the lamb treat.
Yeah, he only likes the lamb ones, so Sophie will like both. So anyway, thank you, baby.